we New Yorkers have absolutely no doubt that we are better off than we were 11 years ago. It's really true, isn't it? Crime is down, tourism is up. That's a questionable thing some of the time when they're in our way, but whatever. And we don't have cigar smoke ruining our dinners out. We have progress in our city's public schools, which is huge for the future of this city and possibly this mayor's greatest legacy. Mayor Bloomberg has fought to rid our streets of illegal and lethal guns and has championed our parks and cultural institutions. Thanks to our mayor, we have a 311 number we can now call when things get totally impossible. I actually did that for the first time this summer. A construction crew next door started work at 7 a.m. I called 311, and it turns out it's perfectly legal to start jackhammering at 7 a.m. That is your next chore, Mr. Mayor. Change that start date. Perhaps most impressive, Mayor Bloomberg has steered this city, the financial capital of the world, through the worst financial crisis in our lifetime without the draconian cuts in services or tax hikes that many anticipated. One of the ways in which he tackled the downturn on Wall Street was by encouraging other growth industries like fashion. You might not, on first inspection, imagine the mayor a fashionista. He has, by his own admission, only 2 pairs of shoes, for example, which he wears on alternating days for the past 10 years, except for those days, I assume, when they're being resold. He also favors but one color of suit. It's therefore impossible to tell whether he only has 2 suits. Never mind. Though he may not personally be a fashion icon, he certainly used his office to boost the industry's recent successes in New York. After the conclusion of a major study called Fashion 2020 this past winter, Mayor Bloomberg announced 6 new initiatives designed to attract and keep young designer talent in our city. At the time, he noted that the industry employs more than 170,000 people, 6% of our workforce, and that New York is home to more fashion companies than is Paris. The 6 initiatives put forward included funding opportunities, competitions, and education initiatives for emerging designers, including one in partnership with FIT. These efforts are only a sampling of the support the fashion industry has received from Mayor Bloomberg. I want to personally thank Mayor Bloomberg for his service to our city and for his efforts to encourage the fashion industry. I also want to thank him for joining us here today. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Liz, thank you. I don't know what your problem is, but there's no jackhammers on 79th between Madison and 5th. By the way, what are you wearing today, or who are you wearing, I think is the word? Oscar, that's the right answer. Great choice. Timeless elegance, polished flair, dazzling charm. For nearly half a century, those words have made New Yorkers think of one name in particular, Mike Bloomberg. I have to defend myself, Liz. I do have 2 pairs of shoes, one brown and one black, and the only thing I have to worry about is not mixing them up. It must be my trend-setting dark blue business suits for every occasion that makes me such a fashion plate. And whoever picked me to present the Couture Council Award today obviously knows their stuff. But whoever picked the winner obviously knows their fashion, and that's why we're here today. Oscar is more than just a fashion luminary. New York is full of those. You can't swing a stiletto in this town without hitting one. But Oscar de la Renta is something much more. He is a fashion legend, and I am his biggest fan. Now, I bet you think that I've never worn a De La Renta. Well, if I've ever worn his red carpet gowns, I wouldn't tell you. But a few years back, this is a true story, Oscar helped design the uniforms for New York City's Olympic bid, and I got to wear a real De La Renta that day. I'm proud to say, while we didn't win the bid, we were named the best dressed runners-up. Seriously, in an industry where tastes come and go in a New York minute, Oscar's designs are one thing that is always in vogue. If you want to think about it, he is the little black dress of high fashion. He just never goes out of style. 47 years after he started his own line, Oscar's still the go-to designer for the world's most celebrated fashion plates. His clothes have been to more award shows than Meryl Streep. And he has been the first choice of first ladies all the way back to the 60s when he was an up-and-comer dressing Jackie Kennedy. It's remarkable, seriously, to think how much the world has changed without changing its passion for De La Renta, or how people can disagree about almost anything, but they will agree on Oscar's designs. In fact, one of the only good things liberals and conservatives can agree about today is what a good call it was for Ann Romney to go with a red De La Renta dress at the convention. And they also agreed it was a good call for Mitt not to. Trained in the legendary fashion houses of Madrid and Paris, Oscar could have made it big anywhere, but he chose to do it right here, and the rest, I think it's fair to say, is history. He's made our city better, and not just better looking. He is a driving force behind the success of Fashion Week and Fashion's Night Out, which are helping ensure that New York City remains the center of the fashion universe for years to come. And along with his wonderful wife, Annette, he is a tremendous supporter of the arts and culture that make New York City the world's capital of creativity. He started a dynasty, one that includes the rest of his family, Eliza and Alex and Moises, and that's carrying on the tradition and making their own mark on this city and on the fashion industry. And Oscar's story of growing up in the Dominican Republic before making it big on fashion's brightest stage really is an inspiration to anyone who comes to this city from any place in the world, that they can see their dreams come true. That's why it was so powerful to have him campaigning by my side in Dominican Washington Heights and Upper Manhattan, and not only because his Spanish is almost as good as mine. Of course, no one looks up to Oscar like those who hope to make a name for themselves in fashion. Like the students who come here from every corner of the globe to attend FIT, where they get an unbelievable education in the classroom and on the biggest runway, the streets of New York City. The school's president, Dr. Joyce Brown, has done a phenomenal job of bringing FIT into the 21st century and keeping it one of the most important institutions in the fashion world. The announcement today of the inaugural De La Renta Scholarship at FIT to support young designers is great for the school and goes perfectly with Oscar's collection of good deeds, because Oscar has always been vocal about making sure others have the opportunity that he had. Whether by standing with a coalition of mayors to fix a broken immigration system that's locking out brilliant minds like his every day, or by founding schools and a home for orphans in his native Dominican Republic. So while we praise his designs for their class and for their elegance, we know that De La Renta, the man, embodies those same characteristics. That's why I am very proud to call him a close friend. That is only one of the two reasons that Diana is wearing De La Renta today. And that's why I'm sure there isn't a person on the planet better suited to receive this award. And I wish him all the best for many more years of success. But today, right now, I am honored to present the 2012 Couture Council Award for Artistry of Fashion to Oscar de la Renta.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have to say that I am an unbelievable lucky man. I live in the best country that any human being can live. I lived in the best city that anyone can live. We have the very best mayor that the city has ever had. My only regret, Mayor Bloomberg, is that you should have asked me to stop smoking way before I did. But nevertheless, I'm so proud to be here today with so many of my friends, so many people that have been so unbelievably important in my career. I cannot name them by names because they know exactly who they are, and the list is really as big as this room. But I'm very lucky because, I love what I do. Fashion is not really about what I did, but what I'm doing now. And I have never had as good a time doing what I do as I do now. I saw one lady some time ago who came and said, "My goodness, what a beautiful dress." And I saw it was somebody else's dress. And she said, no, this is your dress. It's from the 60s. And I was so surprised to see a dress of mine, on the lady that she looked great. But it was my dress. I have forgotten. I always say that I have the memory of a mosquito. I never remember my clothes except when I see them. I am so very grateful that I have had so many friends and that I have been a witness to the life of you women who have supported me through the years. Because, I do remember when I started fashion, working a lot of you were not born even then. And what has happened to all of you today is extraordinary. There is my friend Diane of Fürstenberg who says all the time, you have to be the woman you want to be. And I like that. And my other friend, the one I went to, these are people who have supported me through my whole career. Brigitte Foley, who is sitting at my table too. Brigitte, she has a difficult job that I have to call her when she writes a really bad review on my clothes. I have to call her and I have to apologize to her for the fact that she wrote a bad review about me. I could go on and on and on and on. I just want to say thank you all for being here. I think that FIT is an extraordinary institution that has done a wonderful, wonderful job. Today there is a lot of people that if you play tennis and you hit a good ball, you might become a very good designer. And there is a movie star that all of a sudden her career is sort of fading and she becomes a fashion designer. And it goes on and on and on and on, I have been at it now for 50 years. I'm still learning. And what is exciting to me, what is exciting for me, the most exciting moment of my day is being in my studio, working with my people, and being challenged and being told and learning my craft on a daily basis. And I thank FIT for guiding young kids, young people to learn their craft, because that is the only way that they truly will make a mark. Thank you so much for being here today.